One Piece.
Horn.
One Piece. This is one. On. This is One Piece chapter 1072, The Weight of Memory. And we have a little update to the cover page here. The little cover page story that Oda is telling this time around. I think we're seeing like the beginnings of the artificial devil fruits within the Mads stuff. They said it's a mass-produced weapons of slaughter. We see Judge with that spear he always carries around. Caesar has a smile fruit. Queen has 2 beakers. I don't know what beakers. Bunsen burners.
Yeah,
I don't know the technical term. Sciencey bottles.
He's scienced out.
They're so scienced out.
Pretty lit.
Yeah. And you know they're doing evil stuff because they're Mads. Vegapunk is not in this. This is just, I guess, the real troublemakers of the mad scientist group.
Yeah, right. Vegapunk somewhere feeding a fucking devil fruit to a gun.
Yeah.
He went to hide somewhere so he wouldn't be judged.
Hey guys, I gave the hamster fruit to this nuclear weapon. You guys think isn't that cool? Isn't that cool?
You think?
Yeah. But anyway, we start off the chapter proper with Bonnie and Vegapunk going after each other. You know, Bonnie is chasing Vegapunk for answers as to why he did what he did to Kuma, you know, turning him into a robot without any agency of his own, basically a slave to the celestial dragons. And Bonnie's pretty tight about that because that's her dad. And he's like, why'd you do that to my dad? And Vegapunk is desperately trying to run away from her to not reveal the answer. This is a very interesting thing that happens when Bonnie pretends to be a little girl crying on the floor. Her powers are like the age fruit. She can shift her age to whatever she feels. And Vegapunk gets concerned because, you know, he falls for Bonnie's crocodile tears. And Bonnie gets up and uses this technique called distorted future, where she like bulks up into adult size, but she makes herself really bulky. And I have like an interesting theory about this that may be out there and may have already been answered in the next chapter because we are a little late this week. The raw scanlations are more. Oh, not the raw, but the scanlations.
Did you get spoiled already?
The scanlations are more than likely out by the time we're actually recording this on a Thursday. But this may be answered.
Has that been a week where you haven't been spoiled?
I haven't been spoiled. I don't know what happens next chapter, but I do know the pages are out there and they're translated by scanlations.
They're out there somewhere.
I'm telling you what. I actually almost got spoiled once this week and I dodged it.
I mean, I'm proud of you, Chris.
Yeah, it's tough out here. But yeah, I don't know. I guess I'll share it here. I'll share it after when we give our bigger thoughts. But I think this is a very interesting application to her abilities that we've only ever seen her age herself or make herself younger. But bulking her body is a very interesting and different thing that you could do with age. In any case, Vegapunk continues to run away, and Bonnie hits him with this age skewer, which just pops out all of Vegapunk, these like crystals out of Vegapunk, and turns him into a little boy. Kind of he's still got that like apple thing on his head, but he's a child at this point, and he's like, no
wrinkles.
He's like, is this shining material supposed to be my age? He's like, you've turned me into a powerless child.
He said, give back the sparkling gems of my experience. It's funny because I didn't think about that until now, but that is a nice, flavor of her power. You know what I mean? To be able to do something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like people say that, like, like how they say like experience is priceless.
Mm-hmm.
It's worth its weight in gold or something like that. Like I just thought that was nice.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, Bonnie picks up Vegapunk. She's like, you said there's a good reason for what you did, so let's hear it. Why did you kill my father? And Vegapunk's still hesitating to do so. In the meantime, as he's talking, we see that Kuma is now climbing the red line, trying to get to Mary Joie. And he mentions that he can't tell Bonnie because the truth will only hurt her. And that's the reason why he made a promise to Kuma that he would never tell her the reason why. Um, and Bonnie, understandably, is still not satisfied with that answer. She's like, "You'd say that you had a good reason for killing my father, but you won't tell me." Is like, what? You think I'm fucking stupid that I'm gonna believe that shit? And Vegapunk's like, "Hey, it wasn't even my call. The decision to do this came from Kuma himself."
Mm.
And she's like, "No, he would never do that. He would never leave me behind for that." And Vegapunk's like, "Hey, it was hard on me too. Kuma's a great man and he was my friend and I was so proud of him. And I love him with all my heart, but you got to understand, man, it wasn't I can't that's why I can't tell you." Um and Bonnie just gets frustrated and tosses him to the ground. Um and at that point, she hears this beeping, and Bonnie goes over to this door, and she like erodes it with her abilities. I think she could also age inanimate objects too.
Hmm.
Because she causes the thing to erode, assumingly by making it older and just advancing it to a point where it's not structurally sound anymore. And then the doors unlock, and we see a giant paw bubble, like we've seen with the thing that Zoro absorbed when Kuma took all of Luffy's pain out, um, back in Thriller Bark. And at that point, Vegapunk starts to get a flashback of the point where he was sitting down with Kuma, and Kuma, I guess, was like talking about his powers and how
Mm.
specifically his powers take pain and give it visible form, and he can foist it onto others. It's like sending peripheral nervous systems signals via radio instead. So he starts to think, is like, oh, what about the mind and the heart? Then can you do the same thing for these things, because these are signals emitted by neurons? Can you also do this shit with memories? Basically, can you like give memories a physical form? um and he's just like begging him to help him like figure this out, and Kuma's like, "You want me to embarrass myself?" He's like, "No, please, it could be great for science." And we see that we cut back to the present, and Vegapunk is like, "Don't you dare touch that, Barney. That is pain. You should know Kuma's powers enough pain to be lethal." And Bonnie just looks at it and says, "No, I know my father's powers very well. This is my father's memory, isn't it?" And this is all interwoven over Kuma just getting shot by a bunch of Navy soldiers, getting blasted off the red line, and now he's fighting Navy soldiers to get back onto the red line. Um, and at that point, we cut over back to the satellites and the Straw Hats. Um, and The Straw Hats are reacting to Lucci and the rest of CP0 arriving to the Labo phase, and bringing the Seraphim with him. Um,
And
so
oh man, they're fucking scared.
yeah, well,
Yeah.
actually, it actually like turns out to be a blessing in disguise, because Lucci Lucci is like, "Oh, I didn't give them the order to come," because at this point, now that they're like close enough to Vegapunk, they are now higher than CP0 on the authority chain. So basically, now that they're close enough, they don't really listen to the CP0 anymore. They're back on the side of the Vegapunks. Um, so a couple, Lilith and I forget the third one, but the little guy uh runs off, and they try to get orders transmitted to the Seraphim to
Mhm.
defend them against the CP0. Um, and yeah, wait, Nami is. Oh yeah, I think Nami orders Sanji and Frankie to kind of go with them. Um, oh yeah, I guess to protect the ship or whatever. They send Sanji away to do something. Meanwhile, Brook and Zoro are on the ship, still fighting Kaku, who is in his awakened giraffe form. uh, I did it. I guess there it is.
There it is.
Weirdly enough, it's a shame we don't get to like really see it. He's just kind of in motion right now fighting Zoro, so we don't get like a cool panel where it's just what it looked like.
It
But
kind of looks like a dragon, like a serpent
I mean,
dragon. Like,
it looks like it would look cool because he has also the black fire stuff around him, um,
yeah.
which is pretty cool. But yeah, Zoro has pretty much got his hands full with Kaku right now. Um, and oh, I guess the Seraphim are still under the control of the CP0 as long as the Vegapunks don't have like direct access to them. I guess they have to send the orders out. So they're still under the control of the CP0, the Seraphim. And he orders the Seraphim to destroy the Labo phase. They just start to blast away. And Kaku's like, haha, that's quite the light show. Go ahead and finish our mission with them, for us. And then all of a sudden, he hears a chomp, and who's down there? But it looks like a woman. And all of a sudden, Kaku just faints, and Lucci
Just
looks
like
over
that.
to see Stussy with these like black bat wings, vampire wings of some sort. And she's like, "What are you doing, Stussy?" And we get a massive twist here as we see Stussy being like, "What did I do? I only put him to sleep." And now, Lucci, I'll ask you to do the same. As it's revealed that Stussy this entire time is actually just a clone of Buckingham Stussy of the Rock Pirates. And that's where the chapter ends. Man, what a crazy chapter. But yeah, let's get into thoughts. Josh, what did you think about One Piece chapter 1072?
Starting from what we just like finished reading, I did not see this coming. Not even a little bit. I don't. I guess I'm not surprised that somebody from the Rocks Pirates is still alive because they're not that old. I mean,
They're
Kaido
pretty
was on the
old.
Rocks Pirates and Big Mom.
Yeah.
Yeah, she doesn't look old at all. But I guess it's One Piece and it doesn't really need to make sense.
Well,
In all
she's a clone.
fairness.
She's not like the
Right,
real
but
Stussy.
they believed it was Stussy
They did believe it
of
was
the Rocks
Stussy.
Pirates.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? I don't know what they believed. I don't know if they knew she was
Okay.
part of the Rocks Pirates.
Her name was always Stussy, right?
Mm-hmm.
But she was. I can't tell if they always knew she was with the Rocks Pirates or like that she like a ex.
Well, she was like a
I'm
Mads.
confused.
I guess she was a Mads clone experiment. So that means like the government knew about her, but I guess they figured that because she is just a clone of Stussy, of the real Stussy that was in the Rocks Pirates, that they pretty much had a handle on her. Like,
Right.
she's not the real Stussy. She's just like some like a clone of Stussy they can control.
Right. So her being the clone is kind of, I guess it remains to be seen what that means. Because in my opinion, it could have just been regular Stussy, and that might, it wouldn't have changed that much for me. I don't know. Maybe this is implying that Stussy is on Vegapunk's side, since he was, part of the Mads experiments. He was down with Mads in the past.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, she does mention that like she's been to uh Egghead before, and she has a relationship, I guess, with Vegapunk to some degree. She has to.
Because why else would she attack them?
Yeah.
I mean, they are going against the government's orders technically.
Well, maybe this is
right?
who Vegapunk was calling. I don't know if you remember, like the last chapter, Vegapunk called someone up, and they were like, "I was just waiting for your order." Maybe it was her.
Right. Yeah, she's probably the reason, the person that brought the Seraphims up as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, aside from that, I'm really interested in Kuma's backstory. I'm low key hoping it's a lengthy, really deep one. It doesn't have to be like, it's a whole entire arc to itself. But maybe like 2 or 3 chapters. I would enjoy that. Something on the level of Tiger Shark,
Yeah.
right? That was his name.
Yeah. Fisher Tiger.
Fisher Tiger. Yeah, the Sun Pirates, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, hopefully something like that, something similar, something really dramatic and with a lot of lore and something to kind of keep us focused and kind of point us, like something to kind of give us something in the emotional tank to keep us driving forward for the next few arcs, you
Mm-hmm.
know? Because we've been getting a lot of information so far, but nothing gut wrenching yet. Nothing that kind of, you know what One Piece is good for. They're good for drawing those emotional strings that keep you engaged on top of everything else that's good about it. Um, anyway, it was cool seeing Zoro fight against the Giraffe Man again. I
Yeah.
like how he developed a new technique and just kind of was like, yeah, I'm about to, like, you don't even know, man. Like,
Yeah.
not only was I already strong enough to beat you, but I got a special technique for motherfuckers like you.
Yeah.
So I mean, he's already knocked out, but Zoro won that, and I'm sure he could beat Lucci too. And I'm gonna tell you this: if Luffy decided to take a nap for a year, I'm sure Zoro could lead the crew and get the One Piece.
Probably. I mean, he has the strength for it.
I think he has the strength for it too. I remember my friend, my friend and coworker Greg used to say that Law would beat Zoro. I
Yeah.
disagree with him because at the end of the day, one's just not as gangster as the other. There's just no way around it.
Yeah. I mean, that's a good argument.
Yeah, that's all we do here at New Jump City. Airtight debates, airtight points.
Yeah.
You
No,
know, in our
not a lot of room for
arguments.
debate on our points.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Were
I
those all
guess I
your
said
thoughts?
everything I had to say. Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Imagine. Wait. Imagine the bubble. It isn't really memories. It truly is pain. It's just from this one time something happened,
Yeah.
and
That would
he's
be
like,
unfortunate.
I told you, I tried.
Yeah.
It's the second time. The
Yeah.
first time with the lightsaber, and the second time
With the
because you
bugs.
thought you knew who your dad was. He
Yeah.
don't give a fuck about you. He turned into a robot
What I tell you,
and fucked my brother.
it was literally pain. I said what I said. Were those all your thoughts?
Those are all my thoughts. Brian,
Brian's not here.
what do you have to say?
Brian's not here.
I know.
Anyway.
I know.
Okay, so I have a theory. It's probably out there, and it's probably going to be a wrong theory. We're very wrong on this show a lot. We're like 0 for a billion on theories, I feel. But here's my crazy theory regarding Bonnie's powers. So, a little bit of context. We know that just because you ate a devil fruit power doesn't mean that you necessarily know what the power really is.
Fact. It's not like something comes out and it's like, hey, this is what I do. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
There's no spirit in the fruit.
Yeah. We know that she is royalty of a certain kingdom, and she only became a pirate to really look for Kuma. We know that her powers are the age fruit, as we've seen them. She can increase and decrease the ages of herself, of their people. She can extract knowledge out of people. It seems now, the wealth of experiences they've had. Even
I don't know if she can access them, but she can
no, yeah, she can
definitely take
extract
them
them.
out of people. Yeah.
Yeah, I said extract. Um,
That's true. Yeah. You didn't imply that she could synthesize them.
yeah. Uh, And now we have this new wrinkle to her power where she can change the bulk of her body and make herself stronger, which I don't know, doesn't sound like it would mesh or make sense with that very straightforward ability.
Right. Because just because she's getting older, what, you get really strong at some point? That don't make sense.
And
I mean, she had little legs, so it's like, what, she only made her torso grown?
well, we've
But
seen her
why?
adult form already. So like we know what she
Exactly,
looks
and
like as an adult. It's not that.
it's not buff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so and the name of the attack is Distorted Future. I think that Jewelry Bonnie is the current holder of the Time fruit that Momonosuke's mom had.
She said, but her powers are the age powers, right?
Yeah, but she has a distorted future. So what if the Time fruit's abilities doesn't really necessarily it can age people and push them further in time. It can I guess extract the age out of somebody in theory, but it can also bring you to like modify your body to an alternate future. So this distorted future is she's reverted her body to an age to a future where she is this powerful, this physically strong. Like an alternate reality almost.
Yeah.
Kind of warping time and
That's,
space in a way.
that's pretty deep. Just, making that link off of that because of that attack. Because another way to look at it without that level of depth is that it's just a goofy ass attack that he didn't really think all the way through. That, like, what, you aged your biceps?
Yeah,
I don't get. It doesn't imply that you're gonna be a fucking bodybuilder.
exactly.
It doesn't make sense. So maybe it's her power going out of whack, but you're right. It doesn't. It just doesn't make sense.
Exactly.
So
And I could be wrong. And hey, if I am right, I need you guys to know that I don't know what happens in the next chapter. We're recording on a Thursday today, so I'm sure all the scans are out and people have read next chapter. I have not, I swear to God. Swear to God. But if this is true, I just want you to know that.
all right.
I am also
This is a hat.
It
Okay?
is indeed.
What's another word for hat?
Cap.
Yes. Yes.
I did not.
You read the scan.
I did not.
You know exactly what's happening next week. Why don't we start covering it? Let's go.
No, I have no idea.
Was that the end of your thoughts?
No.
We're gonna move
First
on
of
to
all,
1073 now.
I did not read it. I swear. I could
By
be wrong.
Ichiro Oda.
All the
Lettering by.
I'm gonna say this. I also think my theory is pretty out there. I'm not gonna put all my eggs in it. I wouldn't bet money on it. It's just a passing fancy there. A thought.
I put a $6 ticket on that.
Okay. All right. Well,
I would.
Well,
And I take the over too.
That's risky on my end, on your end.
What would the over be? That you're right, and it happens next chapter, and the under would be you're right, but it happens later down the line that we find out.
I guess it would have to be the number, like over a certain number of chapters, that we find out. But anyway, that's my thought on that. I just had an idea. I could be wrong, and I did not read the chapter going forward. I did not. I support official releases. I'm a square. I'm Mr. Legal Eagle. I try my best. Cap. All right, Josh doesn't believe me. I have no idea. I could be wrong, and then when I'm wrong, I'll be exonerated from being accused of cap. But till then, I guess Josh is just gonna straight up not believe his friend.
Yeah. On this one.
Okay. Kuma storing his memories in a paw thing. I think it is literally pain. It's like I feel like if it's any pain, it's probably going to be mental trauma, which is pretty sad. I guess it would have to elicit some kind of physical response in order for Kuma to be able to relay it. But I don't know. I could be wrong on that. I don't know how memories work. But in theory, yeah. I think if Bonnie touches it, she's gonna actually literally feel everything he's felt through the process of what's contained in these memories.
Right. Like she's gonna experience everything he went through.
Yeah, like she's basically gonna be him.
And she's not hard body like her dad. That's who she looked like. She looked like her dad in a distorted future.
That's true. Yeah, her dad is top heavy, barrel chested man.
Very small legs.
Yeah, very tiny legs.
I miss the long leg tribe
Yeah.
and the long arm tribe too.
Yeah.
I miss both of them. Damn, who was cooler?
The long leg or the long arms?
Uh-huh.
Man, I don't know. There's a long leg on the Fleet. You know, the one that was in Dressrosa. One of them is long legs. And he kicks pretty cool. He's a kicker. He kicks pretty good.
That is pretty cool. But the long arm guys, they were working with Brooke.
Apu's part of the long arm tribe.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
That's why his arms is like that?
Yeah. And also the fruit, but he's a long arm tribe member.
Right, yo. Oh God, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Did I just say that?
That's so cool.
Oh God, that's so cool.
Kaku's awakened form is pretty funny. I wish we had more time with it and him swearing it was cool regardless. You know, like people are still like, you may be awakened, but you're still a giraffe. And he'd be like, giraffes are cool.
Yeah, and I'll fuck you up.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Happy for Kaku.
Yeah. Feel bad for Kuma though. He's going through lots of stuff right now.
Oh, one more thing about Stussy. The only thing I really have to say about Stussy right now is that, like, if you can make clones out of the Rocks Pirates, are there other Rocks Pirates that they've made clones of? Who else is a clone in this world? Are there multiple former famous pirates that are now clones out there? Are there dead characters that are cloned? Could you clone Cobra and make him some kind of false head of Alabasta? Can you clone?
Why did I keep talking about Cobra? Who is this nigga, man?
Vivi's dad.
Oh shit! No, not him. It's somebody else. Never mind. I'm a crazy guy.
Yeah, you're a crazy
guy.
There's a million
Virgo.
characters.
I don't remember Virgo.
You could, in theory, you could, you could clone Virgo, but I don't think they cloned Virgo. Yeah, I don't think they cloned Virgo.
Because he's the grandfather of hockey.
No, he's not the grandfather of hockey.
I mean, for the series, in real life, yeah.
No, he was just particularly skilled in armament hockey, and that was his whole thing.
Was anybody else using it before him?
Yeah. No, he just had like he was just like, that was his strong suit.
They fought Virgo when?
Punk Hazard.
Oh shit. Yeah, I completely forgot everything that happened in that arc.
Yeah.
All right.
You need a refresher, bro.
I do.
But yeah, that's my little
is this your favorite chapter?
Oh, yeah, I would say this was my chapter of the week. How about you? Not?
No.
All right. Well, this is my really good chapter of the week. Where
it was top 3 for sure, though.
Very good.
Certified RGC. Certified RGC. Certified RGC.
A really good chapter. I'm very
How
excited.
the audience feel about that?
It's not the winner, unfortunately. But hey, if you guys want to vote for One Piece, subscribe to the podcast and follow us for the poll there. The poll goes up every Sunday after the chapters come out on the official release, and you get to choose your favorite. Thanks for reminding me, Josh.